Hello. Let's talk a little more about contingency tables. This problem is a lot like, in fact it's equal to, problem 4.17 for my LAC students as part of their homework. That should be quite a help. First, let's go over some basic concepts. The addition rule. What is the addition rule? That's what the addition rule states. The probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B happening at the same time. Then there's the multiplication rule. What is the multiplication rule? That involves conditional probability, and that one states that the probability of A and B is equal to the probability of A given B times the probability of B. Here's your conditional probability. Now, what is independence? A number of ways to define independence. In this case, I want you to remember this rule. If A and B are independent, then the following is true: that the probability of A given B equals the probability of A. In other words, the fact that B happened first tells you nothing, doesn't change any of the odds of the probability of A happening. That's what this says. Alright, here's your problem 4.17. Notice I added an extra row and an extra column. I added an extra row down here to total all the columns, and I added an extra column here to total up all the rows. So 40, of course, is 10 plus 30, and so on. Okay, now what I've done is I kind of squished the table up into the corner here so we can talk about it. Now, what's our first question? What is A given B? Well, if we're going to say A given B, we're going to limit ourselves to this column here. We're assuming B happened. The total of B is 35. And what is A in this universe? Well, it's only 10 out of 35. So your answer is going to be 10 out of 35, or 2/7. Okay, what's the next question? It looks like it's, what is A prime given that B primed happened? Well, B prime would put us into this column with a total of 65. And A prime in that world is only 35, so your answer is 35 over 65. Which is 7/13. Okay. The part C of the problem is, what is A given B prime, I believe. What is A given B prime? Well, we're going to assume that B prime happened. That puts you in this one. And the event is A, which is 30. 30 over 65, which is 6/13. And just to help us with the next part of the problem, what is the probability of A happening? Well, the probability of A happening would put you, well, the total is 40. The grand total is 100. So it's 40 over 100, which is 2/5. Okay? Now we can answer the last question. Are A and B independent? For A and B to be independent, then this has to be true. The probability of A given B must equal the probability of A. Well, we calculated both of those, right? Probability of A given B is 2/7. Probability of A is 2/5. Is 2/7 equal to 2/5? I do not think so, which means they're not independent. Okay?